Hi, my name's Cheryl and I own Twisted Limb Paperworks, where we make handmade 100% recycled paper and invitations. Today I'm going to show you some fun things that you can do with all the remnants from our custom work and all your old holiday cards from last year. I hope you saved them. We're going to make 3 projects today. The first one will be the gift tags cut from the main picture of the card. The second project will be this square quilted card that can also be a lovely tag for the top of a nice gift box, and they're made from 1.5-inch squares. And then with all the odd size remnants from the handmade paper and holiday cards that we cut, we'll create these crazy quilted tags that can also be bookmarks. The tools that we'll need are scissors, glue stick, a hole punch, a paper trimmer, and a sewing machine. Now to make these gift tags, I have my pictures cut out already. I'm going to look through the bag of scraps, and I don't think we have to really settle just on typical Christmas colors. I am going to stitch this with red thread, and that'll be a nice accent. If you don't have a paper trimmer, you can also just cut it out with scissors if that makes it easier for you. Oh, that's cute. And I'll make one more. Now I'll come over to the sewing machine and we will stitch these together. All I'm going to do now is stitch the holiday card cutout on top of the handmade paper. And I slow down at the corner so that I don't run over. And we'll put a hole punch in the corner. And our first gift tag is done. Now what you'll want to do to make the quilted square card is to divide your cards into color groups. What I've done here is made a card with all the gold, green, and red themes. Same thing with this one. What I'm going to sew right now is one that I put together earlier with silvers and blue colors. Before you sew it, I would find the background paper that you'd like and cut it into a 5-inch square. The greeting card squares will be 1.5 inches, so we'll have a nice 1/4-inch border all the way around. And before I sew them, I'm going to just quickly glue each square down in place. And if you make a nice 1/4-inch border on this side, it will be very easy to line up all of the squares and have an evenly centered quilt in the middle of your background. Now I'll be stitching it with a light colored thread that matches. I don't want it to be too bold. And I like setting my width at 3 on the sewing machine and the length at about 1.25. And, oops, I also need the zigzag stitch. And I'll be making sure the zigzag stitch evenly stitches half on the handmade paper, half on the card. I slow down when I get to the end of the line to make sure that I can turn the corner nice and neatly. After I've gone all the way around the border, I will cover each vertical line and then each horizontal line. And now we're finished. Now after you've made as many gift tags as you want and you've made a few of the large quilted squares, you'll have a lot of odd and end pieces left over. And again, it's good to separate them all into kind of blue and silver and gold, red and green. And what I've done is crazy quilt them all together, kind of overlapping handmade paper with cards to create a nice variety. And just so you didn't have to watch me do all that work, I started. And I'll add a few more pieces so you can see how I do it. Now, I I'm going to change the width of the machine to 4 and the length to 2. Then the stitch won't be so small. And I'll put a straight stitch on the machine. And remember, the idea is for it to be crazy, so put the paper at an angle. It doesn't have to be straight at all. Now when you have a sheet of crazy quilting made, you can start cutting it into strips. Get a nice straight edge going. And then I like cutting them into 1.5 or 1 3/4 inch widths. And then you can decide how long you want to make it. We can make this one into a bookmark, and then we'll find a piece of paper. Oh, this is fantastic. We'll use this one right here to be the background. Let's make one more. And now we're going to stitch the crazy quilting onto the backing. Now with these, while I stitched all the crazy quilting in a neutral colored thread, I stitched it onto the back with a bright red thread. And with these blue and silver ones, I put navy thread in the machine, and I'll stitch them on with navy. Of course, these are just my ideas, and everyone should experiment and do what they like. There we go. I hope you enjoyed the projects and that they're fun for you. We'd love to hear your ideas. Please send them to us at info@twistedlindpaper.com, and have a happy holiday.